Before war, before betrayal, before the silence between them grew too heavy to bear. There was a tree, a girl, and another girl, watching her from the shadows. Aiko was born into silk and ceremony, the emperor's only daughter. A girl raised to rule, to kneel, to smile at strangers and speak in half-truths. She learned to bow before she could run, to keep her voice soft, even when her heart screamed. Katsumi was not born to rule. She was born into sweat and steel, the child of a foreign mother and a disgraced samurai. A girl with scraped knees and fire behind her teeth. She was too loud, too fast, too much. And yet, one spring afternoon, they crossed paths beneath the cherry blossoms. One reading, one running, both pausing. Aiko, you're bleeding. Katsumi, I won. Aiko offered her silk sleeve. Katsumi took it clumsily. That was all. But something happened in the silence that followed. Something wordless. Something that lingered. They grew, not together, but toward each other. Aiko attended court lessons, history, diplomacy, posture. Katsumi trained in secret. Sword forms, stealth, survival. One learned how to wear a mask. The other learned to fight without one. Their meetings were unplanned, unspoken. Aiko would linger longer in the gardens. Katsumi would pass by. Coincidentally, sometimes they spoke. Sometimes they just sat. Katsumi, they say you'll marry a prince someday. Aiko, they say you'll die for someone else's pride. Katsumi, I hope not. By 13, they were no longer children. Katsumi's hands were calloused from training. Aiko's adorned with rings, gifts from diplomats she never asked for. But when they met, they always forgot the difference. Aiko began to notice how Katsumi moved, more carefully now. Katsumi noticed Aiko no longer laughed with her eyes. They never spoke of it. Not the tension, not the ache. When a noble boy made Aiko smile, Katsumi shattered her practice blade the next morning. And when a maid lingered brushing lint from Katsumi's shoulder, Aiko dismissed her. No explanation, none needed. At 16, they stood on opposite ends of the palace festival. Aiko in crimson silk, Katsumi in dark armor. A prince asked Aiko to dance. She accepted. She smiled. Katsumi watched from the edge of the garden. Katsumi. He moves like his shoes are borrowed. Aiko. You didn't come to dance. Katsumi. No one asked. They said nothing more that night, but both felt it. The ache of something they still couldn't name. One night Aiko stayed too late working. Her candle burned low. Her eyes dimmed. Katsumi entered, removed her cloak, draped it over Aiko's shoulders. She turned to leave. Aiko whispers. Why do you always leave? No answer. Just the sound of her footsteps in the dark. By 18, Aiko had become the empire's flower. Composed, distant, beautiful. Katsumi had earned her armor, feared, respected. Always silent beside her. Their lives were carved by ceremony and duty. But they still found each other. In glances, in quiet, in everything unspoken. No one saw them touch. But if Aiko stumbled, Katsumi caught her. If Katsumi bled, Aiko sat beside her until the bleeding stopped. They never spoke of love, never dared to name it. But in the silence between them, it lived. They grew in a world that told them who to be, what to love, what to sacrifice, one to rule, one to kneel. But they found each other beneath blossoms beyond duty. And though they never said the words, they knew. Blades and blossoms. A sapphic story of silence, steel, and love that defies every rule.